were we crazy to try to make a wildlife film for the cinema? Back in the day when we started doing it, probably.
Because wildlife is not just about factual information, it's about human emotions, you know.
We did not want this film to be a science lesson.
Well, it was a nature and lake at first. Okay. It was this amazing other world that had been very little filmed, and just which had so much potential to get these extraordinary, almost otherworldly images. We then had the added bonus that we had a guide in the flamingos there, and it was all so colourful and so new, and we felt instinctively that people would respond to that on a big screen.
Wooden floors, walls and windowsills.
We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. We had no idea how much hard work it was going to be. So there was a certain element, I don't know, were we brave, were we stupid? I think that's a line even now, I'm not sure where that line is, and we probably crossed back over it several times. But I do know that at the end, there is not a single day of that filming, however hard it was, however difficult it was, there's not a single day that we were not inspired by that place and inspired by those birds. They didn't constantly remind us that we were just so lucky to be there filming and partaking of their lives.
The major obstacle was just simply getting out to where the birds are, where the birds breed. They breed in the middle of lake nature, and for safety they breed in these inaccessible areas, and just to get there was a major challenge. I mean, more people have landed on the moon than have stood amongst these birds at lake nature, which is an incredible thought. A documentary for a cinema must explore bigger themes than you might achieve in a standard documentary for television. Themes of regeneration or hope, some of the bigger stories that underpin the simple story of the flamingos and their journey.
We wanted to make a film that allowed people to experience nature, to maybe find their own meanings from it and their own beauty, rather than just simply hammer through facts. Surely, if you look at the best films in cinema, it's what the actors don't say, it's what the actors don't do. In those subtle moments of silence, that's actually where you understand the story for yourself. That was important for us. The Phoenix theme had always been there because it's in part of the research. I mean, the Phoenix was considered one of the inspiration. The flamingo was considered one of the inspirations for the Phoenix. So it was always kind of there in the research that we had done. And in fact, it was really only the more time that we spent at the lake and we really began to see the power of these birds, this regenerative effect they seemed to have on the lake, how they came back every year, you know, with the cycle of rain and drought and death and life. We really began to embrace this idea of the phoenix as a spirit of regeneration, as a symbol of regeneration in nature. And also because the birds themselves transform into these beautiful scarlet crimson birds. So it was something that evolved from the beginning and became stronger. We became more convinced that, yeah, these birds are the phoenix.
But our original intentions or interests, long before we got involved with Disney Nature and long before we even knew that we were going to be making a film about flamingos, we were drawn to the power of the kind of abstract images that you could get at Lake Nature, and perhaps, you know, if it had been another incarnation, we would have just had, you know, an hour of just really cool aerials, you know, like Earth from the Air with music. But it needed to be something else, and we needed to tell a story.
to die.